In the church, we don't only play defense, we play offense. And in the church, there are no bench warmers. Each and every one of you are pivotal players in the game. But to play the game well, you need to understand the rules. There are certain thresholds that people cross to arrive at the fullness of commitment to Christ. There's 5 of them. To be aware of this is very important because every single person you meet, every person you know, it doesn't matter who they are, can be the militant atheist, it can be that lukewarm Catholic, it can be the Pope. All of them fall into one of these thresholds. And if you understand where that person is, you can understand the proper strategy to win them back to God. Here's the first one. Trust. Every single person that you will meet to arrive at the Catholic faith needs to begin with trust. They need some type of bridge to be able to cross, eventually, God willing, to arrive at the fullness of truth. So when someone is in this stage, you're not dropping theological bombs on these guys. Do you know what the hypostatic union is? Have you ever heard of the mystery of the transubstantiation? Easy. For people who are just at the beginning stages, you need to be a good friend. You need to be trustworthy. He needs to be able to trust you specifically. Play games with that guy. I remember when I was in high school, I had several friends, but only one was seriously practicing. I myself was not practicing the faith to its fullness at that time, but this guy was. And for him, it was so natural. You know, go over to this guy's house after school, play games. At that time, the game was Smash Brothers. I don't know if you ever heard of that. We'd play that in the basement. And I would kill him every single time. And it was one night, I was killing him in Smash Brothers. Then suddenly, his mom calls. They're Filipino, strong Filipino accent. So as we were playing, all I hear is, "Oi, Paulo, you come up now. You bring your friend." In the middle of the game, pause. "What are you doing? I'm destroying you right now." We go upstairs, in the living room. The whole family is there. What's going on? What in the world is going on here? Okay, we now pray the Holy Rosary in the name of the Father, in of the Son, in of the... Hold on. I didn't come to pray the Rosary. Can't play games. For this guy, it was so natural. And I will never forget that night because he lived out his faith in our friendship. Once there is a basis of trust, a person is able to move to the next stage, which is curiosity. When someone has a bridge of trust, there is now space to be able to ask curious questions, sincere, curious questions. He can be still very far away from the faith, but now he has the space to ask, why do you believe in God? There's so many Christians out there. Why is your church the real one? I remember one friend in high school who said, for me, God is like, I don't know, like an energy ball. It's like, what? Slap that guy. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? But he could say that because there was trust, curiosity, And he was delving deeper and asking more questions on the nature of God. But you see, he's able to do that because there is a basis of trust. Once someone moves from curiosity, asking those sincere, real questions, that person moves into the next stage, openness. When someone is really and truly sincere in searching for the truth, there will be a certain point when he is striving to live his life according to the truth, he will arrive at this next stage of openness, where he is not only flirting with the truth, but now he has to make a choice. If this is really true, if God exists, if Christ is the Son of God, if his church is the Catholic Church, oh boy, I gotta make some changes. This is the hardest part. And here, we need to pray and sacrifice for these people to receive that grace to finally embrace the truth. Trust, curiosity, openness, and then finally, active seeking. This is the stage where the person is not only passive, but actively searching and striving to conform himself to the truth. This is very easy. At this stage, you just got to feed the person. Why don't you come to this retreat, to this event, etc., etc.? There's so many good resources out there, and at this stage, you feed them continually. And then finally, after that, a person arrives at intentional commitment, all in, living out seriously the Catholic faith. This implies a conscious, deliberate, willful decision to own the faith and to live it out. So all of you are in one of these stages, and you have to ponder in your heart, where am I? Why am I not owning the faith completely? What is the obstacle? The obstacle number one is sin, for sure. Sin darkens the intellect and weakens our will. And without the grace of God and without abandoning sin, we cannot move forward, you see. Sin is the number one obstacle. Seriously ponder this in your heart. Why? If I'm not owning the faith for my own, if I'm not all in, what is it? You cannot give what you do not have. You have to own the faith to be able to share the good news of the gospel. Now, here is the real secret. If you want to truly commit yourself to Christ, to share the good news of the gospel, what is the secret? Here it is. When you read the Acts of the Apostles, before the apostles actually preached the gospel and were able to preach the gospel effectively, what does it say? They were in prayer together in union with Mary, the mother of Jesus. You need to take Our Lady into your home. Because the gospel, the very first time it was proclaimed by God himself. In Genesis 3:15, when he tells the serpent, the woman and her seed will crush your head. The fathers of the church call this the first gospel, the proto-evangelium, because it's the first time that the gospel was proclaimed in time, and God himself proclaims it. And notice in what terms? The woman and her seed will crush his head. Our Lady is at the center. This is why, at the foot of the cross, when our Lord entrusts his mother to the beloved disciple, what does he say? He says, "Woman, behold your son." He uses that term deliberately because he identifies the Blessed Virgin as the woman in Genesis 3:15 and the woman in Revelation 12. By giving us his mother, he gives us the victorious queen who crushes the head of the serpent. St. John Paul II says, in that act, our Lord is giving us a personal gift, his mother. He establishes a unique and unrepeatable relationship between two persons, mother and child. So we need to own that gift, the gift of the Blessed Mother. I've seen it again and again and again, especially for young people. Whoever is devoted to the Blessed Virgin Mary, these guys are just different. They're different. The appeal to sin diminishes. The fire for the faith is ignited. Take her into your home. Because remember, without Mary, we cannot succeed. With Mary, we cannot fail. And the church has no bench warmers. All of you, have to step up your game, actively spreading the gospel in union with the Blessed Virgin Mary. Because the reality is, hearts are restless until they rest in God.